Hey everybody, Motorboy 59 here. I was having a discussion this morning with my buddy at coffee, and we were talking about getting into debates with people who start throwing their education at you. And they start, well, I have a degree. I've got a bachelor's. I've got a master's. In what? Liberal arts? As my stepdad used to always say, underwater basket weaving, BB stacking. Don't try to equate your education with common sense. Some of the biggest idiots I've ever known in my life have had college degrees. I worked in my department, the signal department in the railroad, over the years with about a half a dozen people who had bachelor's degrees and one who had a master's degree. And they all worked for the railroad for the same reason, because they couldn't go out in the real world and make the kind of money that a high school diploma guy like me can make at the railroad. So they came to the railroad and they made six figures there. I don't personally know a lot of people with college degrees, especially in the ones I do. I don't know how much money they make, but I do know a couple of them who don't make very much money starting out. There's always the opportunity for advancement, and that is, we get into the whole minimum wage thing, but that's another video. But there's always the opportunity for advancement and to earn more money. Teaching is one of those fields where the higher degree you have, the more money you are capable of earning. And I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with people using their degrees to their advantage. But a lot of these people I end up debating with, when it comes to light, they're really not utilizing this degree they have. And if your degree is in, like I said, liberal arts, how does that make you more in tune or know more about the economy or politics in general, or political science? How does that bring you into this? Maybe you took a political science class while you were in college. I don't need a political science class to know how politics works. I'm 60 years old. When I was 25, I certainly could have used a little more political science knowledge, because when I was young, through my formative years as an adult from 17 to 25, I was a lot more liberal than I am now. I had more liberal thinking, and I'm still a social liberal. It's none of my business what other people do, and I'm not going to climb up on some high moral tower because I'm a conservative. I don't do that. Unfortunately, a lot of conservatives do, and they shouldn't. But liberals do the same thing, except that they're not moral generally. They climb up on their arrogance. They're the ones that tend to talk about their education. And but most of the people, as I said, that I've known with college degrees have no common sense at all. They tend to follow whatever path someone leads them down. They're very seldom, I don't know, I'm not going to say they're not capable of independent thought. They just don't seem to want to put the effort into independent thought, and that's a shame. But I know people who didn't get out of high school, who never got their high school diploma, who have much more common sense and street smarts than pretty much everybody I know who has a college degree of any type. And I'm not saying that people who have degrees, as I said, I'm not saying that they're not intelligent. They just tend to not have a lot of common sense. The higher education over the last 30 years has been, in my opinion, an indoctrination process for the left, and the left don't want people thinking for themselves. They want people to toe the line, follow the crowd that they are told to follow. And when you aren't a critical thinker, you have no common sense. It's like if you look at point A and look at point B, and the only way that you can see to get there is in a straight line, you're not a critical thinker. A straight line isn't always the best or easiest way to get somewhere. It's not always the way that makes the most sense. But some people aren't capable of thinking outside that box, and most progressives and liberals and leftists aren't capable, today's liberals aren't capable of thinking outside that box. It has to be this way or it has to be that way. You love or you hate. There's no gray area anymore, and that's really sad. But that's the way it is. So if you are one of those educated people and you find yourself in a debate, whether you're a conservative or a liberal or a progressive or a full-on communist, whatever, if you're one of those people, leave your education out of it, because it doesn't mean you know anything more about the subject at hand than the person with whom you're debating. Even if you have a degree in that field, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have more knowledge about a given field. So that's my 2 cents worth. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Shoot me an email at motorpoet59@gmail.com. And like, share, subscribe. Click on the bell if you want to be notified of future content. And we will see you all later.